Maximize HUD.
Maximize the HUD, ladies and gentlemen.
Maximize
that HUD.
It's anything we'd like to do, machine.
Blake tried to be discreet, but he failed. Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2v2 tournament for the May Balance preview. We are very excited to be here because the patch is just so damn awesome.
Oh yeah, all kinds of awesome.
We casted it a few times on our channel, mainly for 1v1s, but actually about half an hour ago, we posted a 2v2 game on this preview, which was actually a really great game. So today we're going to have a pretty hype match. Two very well-known players, the RTN boys. There's going to be Tomakaze as our British and Lyconious as the US.
Their opponents for today will be TeacherNosliw as our...
What was his name, Blake? What was his name?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm trying hard here, but you saddled me once again with the difficult to pronounce team names. His teammate for today will be 3EasyWay to improve your English. That's going to be the OKW, and we've been informed these guys are co-pros.
The co-pros, the original company heroes. I feel like this is a little bit insulting because Blake is the master of the English language.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you guys follow our 0 hour content, Blake's been doing some vocabulary lessons. So anyway, here we are crossing the woods. This is a very small map for a 2v2. I feel like it's a pretty decent 1v1 map. If a 2v2, it can be very cluttered. Snipers are notoriously strong on this map due to how open it is, but because this is the Balance preview, we have a few great changes to the game. So for a start, we don't see any of those yet, but the sniper, the Vermac sniper, and really all the snipers actually have a target size increase by 15%. So what that means is that it's going to be easy to hit the snipers. They're going to be less durable, which I think is fantastic, especially for US.
Yeah, in addition to the consistent aim-fire delay at short and medium range, consistent with the long-range profile. So yeah, the changes are definitely a plus, and the action is certainly kicking off here. You're right, machine.
Oh, the race to the building.
Ah, no, wrecked rear echelon. They're going to lose the battle for the all-important garrison. Rifleman closing on this one. Probably not going to work. It depends how the MG arc is placed for Teacher now.
So you can juke this arc. The problem is, though, there's going to be not only the MG crew, but now also the... Oh, no! Bit of a miss, Micro. He walks in front of the arc. The MG's not firing, though. What is the MG doing? I guess the horizontal traverse is too much.
Yeah.
It does take a while to rotate that. But also, yeah, the Pioneers. So this could actually go badly, but we shouldn't spend all of our attention here. But actually we should, because the echelon could go down. Oh, but the MG reface. Is the MG... What? Nade? What?
Nade
a very quick nade came through. Already off to a great start.
Nice stuff from Lyconious. Realizing he would lose the garrison and early teching for the nades. The quarter play from the MG.
Oh, look at this, though.
Here from the MG42. You can't beat that. That's really hard to flank. It obviously doesn't cover a great position, but yeah, very, very hard to flank. Volsks.
Oh, they retargeted the engineers.
Yeah, back onto the engineers. So the rear echelon actually going to survive this one. Now Axis certainly taking control over the map here.
I wanted to move the camera away to see something else, but I didn't want to miss that epic micro that just happened here. 3 minutes into this tournament, or at least for our stream, this is the quarterfinals. I forgot to mention. Quarterfinals, we've been watching some of the games of the first few rounds, deciding not to step in until the best 3 quarterfinals to preserve our energy and all that good stuff. It's going to be a long tournament. We still got potentially 9 games to go, given these are best of 3 matches. We have the Vermac sniper now on the field. The universal carrier is already here with the Vickers K. That also gives it a HP buff when you get either of those upgrades.
Certainly does, machine. Nice little upgrade, but very expensive in terms of munitions, especially early on. Not a big deal for the Brits, but we're going to have to see this UC get some work done, because currently Axis have control over virtually the entire map, or the BPs, and more importantly probably 2 munitions points and the fuels.
Pretty good long-range damage though, but as you say, the Brits not actually having enough munitions for the medical supplies. Can't heal his squad. Not too bad though, they're almost at full HP. It's not the end of the world. But the Vickers K, it's pretty good. It just still dies really easily to a pack, a 222. Yeah, it's a very fragile unit. Hard to really make it work. Remember, there are nades on the rifleman here for Lyconious. It is dodge though, and that munition's not in in a vast quantity here for the Allies. Double munis points in the hands of the Axis. Sniper will take a couple of rifleman shots, but not a big deal.
Certainly. Another small advantage. Nice
Oh,
rifle
man.
grenade coming out there as well. Getting a couple of models will allow the Grenadiers and the Pioneers to escape from this one, potentially.
I don't know, it could go either way here. So the Vickers K opening up, actually popping the suppressive fire on these Volksgrins. Look at that, it's going to get both of them, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Looks like one of the rifle squads went down, though. There was originally 4 for Lyconious, which means he's probably going for his captain. No, he went LT, okay.
Okay, interesting. Going to be adding on a bit more infantry pressure with that LT squad. Still very potent in terms of its anti-infantry capabilities with the bars, with the Thompsons as well. We see the SDG starting to come online for these Volks as well. 2 currently for 3EasyWay to improve your English. We need to abbreviate that. It is crazy. Another great reason that the munitions still, even in the May Balance preview, benefit Axis in a huge way. Massive infantry upgrades here. So it's the LMGs for the Grenadiers coming out, and the STGs for the Volks, obviously giving them huge boost to their combat effectiveness.
There is also S-mines on the field. Lyconious has to be so careful here. He obviously sees them, but it's fine to go for the sneaky cap. The problem is, though, if you have to retreat, you're going to run through those mines unless you manually soft retreat, which gets antsy. Looks like Tomakaze at the side will be capping the fuel and the VP. For the most part, the Axis had both the munis and the fuels, so that was, you know, not a situation you want to be in. There is actually a mortar pit being built. It's pretty far back, though, but a great unit to build if you're starved of resources, because it doesn't only cost manpower. It's not going to be bleeding manpower either. That's the great thing about that unit, is it's not just the cost. You also have to factor in the fact that it isn't bleeding manpower like another squad would. And same when you look at the US mortar compared to another squad of riflemen. It's not bleeding manpower, which is a problem that the US can face. LT is on the field. Ambo coming out now as well. Oh, this sniper, though, getting found by the Brain Carrier, but 222, the bigger brother, will force the bully away. The sniper actually survives as well. Universal Carrier not quite being so fortunate here.
Yeah, straight down with this 222 on the field. Bit of a go forward, go backward situation there for our man Tomakaze. He was thinking about, do I dive after the sniper, sees the 222, tries to back away. You really have to make up your mind in that situation, either diving the sniper or getting the hell away. Normally the UCs don't survive too long once the 222s start hitting the field. The 222 is just too mobile relative to the UC, in particular their ability to turn, which is not great.
By the way, if you're unaware, this is actually what we call the machine rally point, where you accidentally send your ambo into the front lines. Looks like he's going to be using it as a forward heal point, which is nice to have, but it got a little bit too far forward. It got up to about here, right where the Universal Carrier died, and where the scout car was still nearby. On the left side, though, action all over the place, as you would expect in a 2v2. Will be the M15 AA half-track being built for Lyconious. Great unit to build because it has a lot of range, so it benefits from the open map, and the main thing is it counters out the 222. An M20 wouldn't really have any impact with that scout car on the field, but the M15 can get some work done.
Interesting choice from our allies, given that they have been pretty fuel-starved to be going for the light vehicle choices. What do we have coming down here for 3EasyWay to improve your English? I take it he has a battle group. Was that the first thing that we saw going down? So,
yep.
So when I have a look, it was a battle group actually, yeah, for the first truck. Second truck is going to be out, and that will be going into, I'm going to say, a mechanized at this point, and there potentially will be a Puma on the way very soon. Definitely has. He's approaching the field to head towards that Puma.
He had 150 fuel, so there really wasn't any reasons for him to go mech truck, especially since they had double fuel for a while. So that's a pretty sensible choice, unless you wanted to go for a Stuka or something, which, yeah, I know fast vehicle is generally the way to go if you can do so. You can always back tech later on, or just go for the King Tiger. As for Teacher, did I do okay?
You did great, Machine. It wasn't even noticeable. I mean, I've been cast as cursed, and now you're...
well, you're going to be M15 cursed in a moment here, because the pack opening up. Will he find the kill? Oh, he does! Ouch! That M15, I think, with that down, is going to be really the hope for the allies, because without the M15, what's the response to the sniper and the scout car? The sniper's nerfed, but it's still absolute deadly. It's a monster. Maybe we'll see a counter snipe from Tomakaze. I don't see how else he's going to take this one out. The map is too small for a 2v2. You can't really flank it. It's just, there's stuff everywhere.
Excellent point, Machine. Excellent point. Yeah, once you get set up on one side of the river, then they're going to come and makes it incredibly hard to push across that. Here, our allies are going to start suffering from their lack of upgrades. Nice nade dodge coming out there from Teacher. If he can just get the stop down, get those LMGs back up and running.
Why is he engaging here, though? Like, what is he going to benefit from this engagement? He knows there's a 2-2-2. He knows there's a sniper. Just greedy. There was no reason. And he's... Oh, there was no incendiary pop.
No.
He could have actually wiped the squad if it was perhaps a little bit more attent. A double mortar pit. But hey, it makes sense, though. What else can they do? They're lacking in territory. They're lacking in resources. Yeah, why not?
And one of the big benefits about crossing in the woods are these awesome patches of forest, which I actually love because they give huge play potential to either side of the river. In this case, great shock blockers for the mortar pits. Really hard to siege these mortar pits and put any damage down on there because of the massive tree blockades in the area. And the mortar pits are obviously going to cover a fair bit of ground. In this case, a couple of VPs and starting to get a fair bit of poke across the river here for our allies.
We do have the 50 cal. It's received a pretty significant penetration buff as well as the... Oh, look at that. Look at that icon. That's like, as much as I love Mirage Flower, he isn't a relic artist.
That's the icon that they use for the map, the world breaking shots. You know, the world breaking abilities. Yeah, the ones that anything that fires through like buildings and things like that, poppables. Right. There are a few units that they use it, but I'm pretty sure that's the same icon, unless I'm incorrect. Given I was just looking at the abilities.
The ability guide on .org.
The ability guide, yeah, and I was looking at the icon.
Great article.
Yeah, good article. Excellent.
So, what's going to happen here for the allies? Lyconious is being aggressive. The mortar pits do have a fair bit of range, though, so they can get some work done. I think, like, the allies, the only chance they really have is if they get some lucky wipes with his mortars, which definitely can happen. 2 mortars especially. Other than that, though, the riflemen just aren't trading effectively. Sniper's going to be opening up as well. He has to be a little bit careful, though. He's gonna get, oh, no, he's suppressed. He's fine. Okay. Oh, there we go. Look at that for the MG42. Because there is a slight nerf to the sniper's durability. So if you get caught by rifle squad, you can actually die.
As we saw there, the suppression coming down onto the rifleman squad. Going to be reducing grenade range. That's for all squads by 33% when you are suppressed. So prevents you from just kind of jogging through suppression, crawling through and throwing a nade onto those MGs. In that case, throwing a nade onto the pack. Well, riflemen were delayed and first to retreat.
The mortar may detonate the telemine. But yeah, this game is not looking too good. Maybe if the allies can hold the middle VP at least, and then they can, I don't know, try and go for something. I feel like Tomakaze should have gone for a sniper a while ago, because they can, at least with that, he can start picking forward, trying to flush out the MG, but he just has to play around the counter snipe. The counter snipe is one of the biggest comeback mechanics in the game. If he gets the counter snipe off, it's a huge manpower deficit. Forward assembly is there as well.
I mean, with that being said, it's pretty hard to find the manpower for a sniper when you're on double mortar pits.
Yeah, that's true.
makes it a little bit tougher. Of course, he's not bleeding too much from those mortar pits, and have to reinforce those ones, as the machine was saying earlier. So yeah, allies in a bit of a hole here. Looking towards our VPs, 318 for the allies, 414 for our Axis players. Had solid control, but at least our allies have been generally, at least, holding on to one VP and getting a bit of bleed down for themselves. Yeah,
but now it's just too late. There's just defenses everywhere. Bunkers, MG, S-mines, packs, snipers. Just, how do you break this?
Not a situation you want to be in crossing in the woods.
If there was a Soviet and they pulled out a Katusha or something, that would be a great way of doing so. But with US... maybe a land mattress. Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure that icon is wrong. That they have increased it to 7 or 8. Yeah, 7, despite the icon saying 5. But a land mattress would be a good way to do so. I'm pretty sure it actually has been nerfed, though. But it's still very potent against these entrenched positions. P4 has hit the field now. It's going to be even more manpower. But we have a lot of bars for Lyconious. It's going to help him trade against these Volks. But it won't help him trade against the MGs that are constantly pinning and suppressing him.
Yeah, negative coming into this one. Squads with upgrades behind cover with support from NGs and snipers generally going to win against charging rifleman squads.
Oh, I think a shoe mine. That was a shoe mine.
Yeah, it was a shoe mine detonated there.
And a Panther.
The tank add-ons here from our Axis. Really intelligent work as well, as the machine was saying earlier. Not going straight into light vehicles, just going straight for these medium and heavy tanks. And there's not really anything the Axis can secure that can deal with them. Goes for the salvage. That's cheeky. Well, should be able to get that one down as well.
Sniper's going to be clearing out this 50 cal and the Panzer IV as well. Looks like we actually have a vehicle of some kind. Oh, it's a Cromwell. That's going to help.
A larger Cromwell.
Yeah, a slightly larger Cromwell has the target size buff, so a little bit easier to hit. Plus the crush has been removed, one of the strengths of the Cromwell. But there is a fair bit of AT guns, and there isn't a 6-pounder anymore for Tomakaze, unfortunately.
Not a lot of support. This Panther showing up soon could certainly spell the end for the Allies if the Cromwell does go down.
Those Volks were very clumped when they were retreating. He could have definitely lost that squad if it was a bit worse RNG. It actually looks like we have Lyconious pressing up the right side, so they're constantly rotating, trying to find weaknesses, but that's kind of the problem, is they aren't finding weaknesses, because there are no weaknesses. Hasn't really wavered any territory. The field's going to get decaptured, but for how long?
210 VPs left here for our Allies compared to 414 of the Axis. Allies don't have much longer to work out what they're doing.
And it will be another Panzer IV being built. Just wanting to make sure this Cromwell doesn't have too much freedom, but against a Panther, that's one vehicle for each VP. They can easily close this game with a triple cap with each of those tanks. We actually have the M1. It has been buffed. Accuracy and penetration. Very needed. I'm glad to see that. Makes me happy. Does it make you happy, Blake?
Look, I mean, it doesn't make me unhappy, Machine. I couldn't say it makes me unhappy. What kind of conflicts me is I like seeing S-mines to stall it out, but I hate S-mines. So
Yeah.
I'm really in a middle ground here. I'm not really sure what to think.
Look, that sniper almost got wiped, but it will just escape. Pack's going to get stolen.
That's
Can
bold.
he turn it around in time against this P4? Maybe get some work done here. The M1 isn't quite in position just yet. There's still the S-mines, though.
Yeah, trying to get away with this Pack. It'd be a huge gain for our Axis that managed to get an AT getaway. That's an ideal way to stall when you don't have any tanks, but there's no way STG Bolts are going to let it get away.
Just after he crossed the negative cover there as well. Where's the Cromwell? Yeah, a little out of position. If the Cromwell was here, maybe, but now the Panther's shown up. Panther v Cromwell. So that Panther's going to be able to force that one away. Still, the Volks are going forward, not even bothering about the Pack. Going to go for these mortar pits. One of them's braced. Yeah, that's why. There's a P4 shooting at it. I'd brace that if I was the Brit player.
It would be the way to go. Looks like the mortar pit are going to go down anyway. Probably took a couple of shots before that brace went down from the looks of things.
Oh, the mortar's come through though. When you are getting close to the mortars, got to be careful. Let's see if any of them go down here. Could definitely be one wipe. Oh no, it gets away. Pretty lucky there, but nice play. The mortar pit's destroyed. That's pretty much all the Allies had going for them was the mortar pits.
Tomakaze is going to have the option to go for that land mattress. Almost has the resources available for that one. But with, you know, 2 P4s on the field and a Panther, land mattress normally has the bonus of being very safe. You move the land mattress forward, you fire the barrage, you back it off again in a similar fashion to a Katusha or... But there's not really that option when there are several medium tanks on the field and you've been forced back to your base sector. There's not a lot of safety for that land mattress.
Not much safety for these riflemen either. Still, triple cap continues. There's P4 over there, a P4 over there, and a Panther over here. So that was a bit more musical than I intended. It sounds like something you would read your children a bedtime story.
Look, I mean, I'm a big musical theatre fan. You'll never hear me complaining about you singing, Machine.
Okay.
I would never say that.
Oh,
Never
that's
do
good.
such a thing. No lock-ins for our Axis here, and I mean, they don't really need to. They have everything they could possibly want. Better squads, the upgrades that they need. Been playing a fantastic game. Excellent unit preservation.
Well, they will get suppressed by the 50... Oh, the mortar. There we go.
Yeah.
And I hear a land mattress. Oh, actually, nice barrage.
Yeah.
Not quite on point. Does get, I think, 2 Volks, though. But it's the sound of a land mattress at 54 VP, so it's not quite as triumphant as it could otherwise have been. But still, that's going to be neutralized VPs. So they have managed to stall it out for now. but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
They're staying firmly rooted to the ground at the moment, Machine.
Good. And the AT gun went down. But these Grans, they are playing with fire. Because this mortar pit wants their number.
The allies are a little bit closer. These mortar pits could really pay off heading towards the game. If the central VPs were constantly being fought over, therefore Gren's constantly under mortar fire, that would be great. Unfortunately, it really has been a case of Axis has control over the middle VP, allies occasionally cap them back, and the mortar pits haven't had a lot of work to do because the Axis haven't been anywhere near them. They've just been camping across the other side of the river.
Lyconious hasn't looked at a commander, so he's probably wanting to go for the Pershing just to give them some form of tank, because they do have a mortar pit, they have the land mattress. Going Calliope would be a little bit overkill, and they do need something to try and force away those P4s, but that Pershing is looking like a dream at this stage. Not going to be happening.
Yeah, look, there has to be some light at the end of the tunnel, Machine. That these Volts are quickly extinguishing. This game has been the death of allied AT guns. Incredible amount of them going down, and it's very costly for the manpower of our allies to continue recapturing them.
Sooner or later there's going to be a King Tiger as well. We have the mech trucks, so this isn't even funny anymore. It's just absolute slaughter is what it is.
Yeah. Which is crazy because you would think that, oh yeah, sure, Tomakaze and Lyconious obviously not great players. They're top 100 players. These are top tier Comedy of Heroes players, and TeacherNow and 3EasyWay playing incredibly well here.
That P4 perhaps being overextended though. He pops his Blitzkrieg, so he'll be fine. There's just this funnel of AT guns. Oh, and a Panther flanking. So 1 Panther versus 3 AT guns. How good is your Pintle? Ah, come on, Panther.
Come on, Panther.
You underestimate the power of your Pintle. The P4 is destroyed.
Yeah. One of the pack managing to get a couple of shots through the smoke there.
Oh, that land mattress action, not going to be too bad.
It's getting work.
Oh, the sniper gets wiped. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, could be a little too late for our allies though. Oh, currently, VP still ticking in the favour of our Axis, and the wave of STG bolts should be able to close this game out.
Oh man, that mortar pit though. Imagine if the second one was still alive. Good thing the Axis actually punished that the second mortar pit. That could have gone a little bit deadlier. Nade will come through as well here. This could be some dead squads, but not going to matter at this stage. Caster hype, woo! Woo!
Gotta love it. Stuka as well was a nice choice from 3EasyWay.
Oh yeah,
a solid way to round out the composition without going for the KT. GG.
Man, that game was just devastating. I really think this is a bad map though for 2v2. It's just too small, and you can lock down the entire map with 3 MGs, and that is exactly what happened. It's very momentum based. Is whoever has whoever wins the first 5 minutes is pretty much going to win the game. Because imagine if there was 2 Vickers and a 50 cal overlooking the VP, overlooking the fuel. It's very hard to punish, and maybe those quick nades were a bad idea. I mean, it's always hard to criticize quick nades because they're so hit and miss. They can be an absolute game changer. Imagine if those nades just wiped the MG, or even better, got the MG stolen, and then that would have been, wow, great, quick nades. But
I thought it was a cool decision, and it worked. It was obviously a choice given that the garrison was lost. I mean, what other way were the riflemen going to clear out that garrison? It's incredibly important. You don't want to lose the fuel, especially when the western fuel was already held by the Axis. Losing the fuel incredibly punishing, losing the momentum punishing. So yeah, as you said, Machine, it could have worked. It just happened to not work in this situation. So that was game number 1. We are, of course, starting in the quarterfinals. So all the games will be best of 3. The series will be best of 3 from this point onwards, and we'll see if we can get the second game up and running.
Yeah, we don't actually have them added on Steam, so I'm a little bit panicking, hoping we're not actually missing anything. Hopefully not. But I don't know. I haven't really read the rules properly, to be honest, so I'm not quite sure how... Oh, nice. There we go. Yeah, so it actually is a reversal. I was going to say, I'm not sure how the maps work, but...
So, similar to the ESL rules in terms of map and faction selection. So, in what we were now in the best of 3 format, coin toss for faction selection and veto process determined by veto, play the last map in whatever happens to be the map listing, which is there's Crossing in the Woods, 2 Pripyats.
Oh no!
Oh god, the facepalm. I'm guessing Moscow's in there somewhere. I'd have to look at it again. I don't have it up at the moment. But,
It looks like the
about a
machine
6 or
stole
7 map
Blake's
pool.
facial hair. What facial hair?
When have I ever had facial hair?
In case you guys aren't aware, Blake's actually 14 and can't grow a beard.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
It's
Recently turned 14.
He's very
as well.
insecure about
I
it,
just
so
had
make
my
sure you
birthday.
never mention it ever again.
Yeah.
Or feelings will be hurt.
I may start crying and potentially leave the stream, and no one would want to see me leave the stream.
Yeah. All
Well, I
right.
hope no one
So
would.
the score is 1-0, and that should be. Oh, whoops! I've labeled this wrong. Oh man. Oh, this is an absolute mess right now. Oh no, I've added the same one twice. That's what I've done.
What do you think this is? Does this look like it's StarCraft, bro?
Don't talk to me about StarCraft.
You think this is DreamHack StarCraft? You remember the problems they were having with score overlays? This doesn't
Oh
just
yeah,
happen at
yeah.
Company
When
Hero
Artosis
tournaments.
was
Yeah,
when he was obsing, that was funny. Yeah. To be fair, it was the B stream, so
that is
you know.
true. Whereas we are the A team, the A stream. We are the Generals Gentlemen. My name is Archon Hawk.
And my name is the Machine. That was smooth. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, let's see if our allies can prove us that you know, this map is playable for either faction. WS though, man, that's WS on crossing. Are you sure? It's an excellent map for Brits, and there's a few reasons why. Firstly, Vickers. Vickers are probably the best MG. I say probably, but I mean definitely. Vickers are just amazing, and you can lock down those VPs with them. Same with these houses too. You get a Vickers in this house. Plus, also then mortar pits, land mattresses. It's just a great map. I'm sure there's other reasons why, but WS. I don't know, man. I mean, Calipes will probably be the best unit in the game on this map, though.
I would also say, arguably, US, even in the May Balance preview, have the strongest pressure early game, just in terms of the combat effectiveness of rifleman squads, comparatively to the Axis counterparts and by that I mean Volks Grenadiers and the Grenadiers. So it could be the Crossing in the Woods meta where you try and take control over the map early, get control of the fuels, of the garrisons, and play from there. But as you said, it doesn't. You wouldn't think WS scales as well as potentially a Brit, for example.
Well, let's see.
being added in.
We've certainly lost a WS in our 2v2s.
I mean, what haven't we lost to, Machine? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Jono? Oh, wait, you have. Lol. Anyway, so also, US are probably the best faction at breaking camp because you have the smoke grenades. So you can assault MG positions very effectively. So you do have to be a little bit careful of that when you do have those MGs. They're not invincible. Sniper's going to be here very early, effective at bleeding the manpower of the US. Maybe we'll see a quick M20. How do they deal with a sniper? That's pretty much the question US players always have to ask themselves. But in a 2v2 on Crossing the Woods, it's just it's not a question. It's a philosophical way of life.
Yeah.
Conundrum. Yeah. Nice.
Quite so. So, mate, the English vocabulary, it's my thing. I'm rolling with it. Solid early planning, though, from Lyconious going for the early sniper. I mean, you don't have much to worry about when you're just dealing with rifleman squads early. You're not going to have a UC coming out too early, diving in after a sniper. You're just going to be shooting at riflemen. Really, if you're microing it well, there's no reason the sniper should be in any degree of danger, even in a 2v2.
This is where you have to be a little bit careful, though. The sniper here, because there's actually 3 attack routes, you can get completely surrounded, but at least there are the Grens there scouting, so this is potentially a flank route here, but it's not really a flank. It's still pretty much from the front. Negative cover as well, so the sniper's got a pretty safe retreat path. The map territory is pretty even, though, so that's okay. You know, they're doing fine. And let's see what the transition is. There has to be some light vehicles to follow this up. We have the 4th rifleman there out of teacher something. And then 3 ways to improve English. Maybe retreating these rifle squads here. Stimpunny is behind heavy cover. That is just always a scary sight for the allied players. We have an MG setting up as well. Pioneer's in the house holding up, so that's nice to see. Still looking at this, it's the LT. So there could be definitely an M20. There's, of course, the feel for it. And it's just hard to navigate the M20 when you have to worry about a lot of Fausts. Because now there's going to be Faust in the OKW as well. Not Shreks anymore, Fausts, which in terms of M20 is probably even worse in the early game.
For sure.
Because normally you'll have maybe one Shrek that you'll have to kind of ignore, and even then, you can just get hit by a Shrek, drive away, get repaired, not a big deal. But if you get hit by a Faust, you can get slowed down. You're going to have to crawl away, you know, maybe evac, pop the repair critical. So, oh, this sniper though, man, that house may have actually saved him there.
Probably did. Taking a fair bit of damage from the rifleman. That's the one thing. You shouldn't lose the sniper, but you can certainly be forced off by multiple rifleman squads if they're in the wrong position. And you can certainly find rear echelon wipes. Don't cast a curse, me grenadiers.
Well, this thing blocked vision, though.
Yeah,
it blocked the sight.
Yeah. I forget that's actually a proper structure.
Yeah, even though you can shoot through that, but apparently Krenz can't shoot through that. Anyway, so yeah, the Owls are doing great. You know, they're showing that if they play aggressive, they can make crossing the woods work. Snipers wounded. This is a very rough spot to be in, because if the sniper gets wounded, until you get a med bunker, you can't be very aggressive with it, especially in this new patch. But then if you're not aggressive with your sniper, then you're not going to get manpower bleed. You're going to be conceding territory. It's kind of a lose-lose. Getting the early damage inflicted is a massive blow to the Wehrmacht player.
It will indeed be the M20 coming in here for Mr. English. A little bit later than it potentially could have been, mainly due to manpower in this case. But I guess look at Lyconious' side. In that situation, it's going to be nice. Double MG42 and the sniper. Ideal composition to be throwing the M20 into, but the 222 coming up now.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate way to complete that composition. Is the 222 is the ultimate anti-scout car. Unless you have some funny business with the bazooka crew, you see some players swap their echelon out just to have that bazooka. But even then, you know, it's one bazooka. It's not going to have a huge impact. Captain doesn't actually have the bazooka by default. He can upgrade to a single bazooka, which again, a single bazooka isn't amazing. So the 222 is going to indirectly be a lot more powerful now against US, because that captain isn't going to be shutting it out quite so soon and quite so early. You can still, of course, get any upgrades via the weapon racks, but that's a fuel investment. It's a manpower investment. It's delaying those bazookas or whatever upgrades you see fit. Which means, though, on the flip side, you can put double bars on your captain and have what Blake likes to refer to as the Dream Combat Squad. Was that right?
The Ultimate Combat Squad.
Ultimate Combat Squad, yeah. And the reason why is because it's Thompson. Thompson plus 2 bars is devastating.
Is indeed the dream.
Oh no!
Option, rest in peace, Rifleman Squad. Who are going to be coming in on the M20 now?
There's a Rocket in there as well. Was blocked off by the smoke. Actually hits the ground. Rifleman gets suppressed, and they just hit Vet 1 as well. So that very nice play by Lyconious. He retreated from the Rifleman. They were Vet 0. There was no AT grenades, but they were on the verge of hitting Vet 1. So if he saw that, they were Vet 0 and backed away. It didn't back away, would have been bad, but it loses the Sturmpies as well. So we start to see that the battle taking the toll on our players. Oh, Faust comes through. Roketten shouldn't be able to follow this one up, though. He's pretty far away.
We also saw a wipe on, I believe, the rear echelon squad from 3EasyWay. Wipe upon wipe, our players all of a sudden, they're yawning. They're getting distracted. They're starting to lose squads here after the incredible first game that we saw.
This aggression is too much. There's no fuel at the moment for the Axis. There's been a lot of manpower bleed. I feel like the Axis have been trading better, but they don't have the territory. That's what matters, because then there's going to be tanks coming out. There's going to be plenty of bars, and bars are very strong even against STG Volks. You can't compete with those bar rifles. They have better long-range firepower.
Finally, we see an ambulance getting added from a US. I was getting a little bit scared. A lot of low squads and no ambulance inside. They are added on now. Lieutenant, not quite finding the wipe. Important squad as well for our Axis. That flamer, very important when it comes to clearing out those fuel garrisons.
Yeah, exactly. Stewart is on the field here, so that's going to be able to deny the 222 from chasing things down. The Axis are really running out of territory here, looking for a Faust. Man. Doesn't get the Faust though, so what's the response? We have... What? Oh, squad war. Oh, wait, wipe the Volks. Wow. Okay, just didn't retreat that one. There is the battle group truck. Nice placement. It's behind the forest. Not much chance of that being taken out unless there's maybe 2 AT guns here. But then they're out in the open. They can get forced away. Not many squads left for Tomakaze. I feel like this game has shown that 3EasyWay to improve your English and TeacherNosliw or whatever. They're just the better players. They've just been outplaying them in both of the matches here. At this stage, it looked like the Axes were kind of trading better, but in the past couple of minutes, that went sour as the squad loss after loss for an... Oh, wow, that was a nice mortar shot. But instant retreat.
Yeah, solid retreat coming out. Not a squad you'd intend to watch as well. You don't expect a 5-man squad to suddenly drop to 4 men. It's very easy to lose one in that situation.
No.
Stuart, what are you doing? I will have whatever that Stuart is running on. I will put that in my car. Fuel efficient as hell. Insane stuff from this Stuart. That's the second squad wipe of the game.
What, so your Commodore can get increased accuracy against Welsh Grenadiers?
That's exactly
is that
what
you
I
want?
Would you? Don't you want your Lancer or whatever you drive at the?
It's a Ford Laser, bro.
Ford Laser to have increased accuracy against Volks. That is indeed the dream. Oh, that's going to be another wipe.
But for who though? That's the question.
Yeah, I was feeling for our Axis might actually find one. I thought the Lieutenant was going to go down there, but it does survive, courtesy of the Pioneers claiming on the ground and not after those retreating models. Very safe Stuart play as well coming from Teachers now, and this is the situation where it's certainly beneficial that there are Faust now instead of Shreks. The Stuart benefits in that situation, doesn't have to worry about. At this point, normally say 3 squads of Volks Grenadiers with Shreks on the field, a lot of infantry-based AT.
Oh wow, nading this mortar, this rifleman, they know no fear.
Axis very grouped up now, cowering behind the woods next to their battle group headquarters.
As long as they can hold a fuel and a VP, they should be fine. Let's look how close they are to getting a vehicle of some description. No battle phase 2 for Lyconious, so he's very far away. Doesn't have the mechanized. There's no Stug E's available. That would be very handy in this situation. There's no Puma. There's no Command P4.
So the Panzer headquarters getting thrown down. Tomakaze just dropped a heap of fuel.
Yes,
so,
that
yeah,
is
okay.
exactly. So that's going to help, but Tomakaze is very far off the field from either tank, so yeah, not going to be helping much. Maybe Obers, but still, that's just Stuart bait. Other than that, Lyconious, he does have a Tiger, an Elephant, and a Tiger Ace as his late game call-ins, but... Well, actually, look at the VPs. I was going to say, can they get to the late game? But the VPs are pretty much even, so sure, they can get to the late game. There's no fuel, but how much fuel does the Tiger Ace cost, Blake?
That'd be 0 fuel.
That would be 0 fuel, indeed. The Tiger Ace costs 0 fuel, so you always have that late game crutch. But 17 command points, it's a long time. It's going to take a while to get there. Oh, there's the AP ammo.
And I feel as if this is the way to go. I'll go into it in a little bit, in fact, because there are huge engagements happening across the map here. Riflemen are going to be pushing in. This is our allies' attempt to break the camp, to get across the river, to break these support weapons. They're going after the packs now as well.
Oh, the rifleman comes through.
Here.
There's a pack and there's an MG42 are both wiped. What a great play that was. They had a Stuart on one side, Rifleman on the right, Rifle in the middle, M20 on the side. It was completely spread out across the line. How do you defend against all 4 of that? Because the pack, they couldn't fire at both of those vehicles. The MG couldn't get both of those blobs. So just it's nice coordination between our allied players. They're attacking together, and it's just forcing the Axis to... Their lines are breaking there. They can't hold out against that much aggression.
Certainly. So, going back to what I was saying earlier, for our allied commanders, this is the ideal way, in my opinion, to shore up the late game. Will the M20 go down here? It certainly looks that way. The 222 starts to chase that one down. It has to go a fair way across the river. However, the buff to 50 cals penetration not going to be helping out in this situation. The 222 will survive. This is the ideal way for the allies to play the late game as WS. You're going to have access to both the Calliope and also the Pershing on their heavy cavalry as well. So when you add that to the option of going for major, you have a very well-rounded US forces late game composition, or at least options to go there for.
Yeah, you have recon, you have a Calliope, a Pershing, you have mines. It's a great way to play for the late game. The only other thing that you'd really want to have is the P-47 rocket strafe, but Airborne Company kind of sucks. And I'm sure I'll get flamed for that, but it's true. When was the last time you saw someone lock in Airborne and actually play in ESL or a top 50 game or something? But anyway, so the Calliope should be coming out pretty soon. Very aggressive game, has given 9 command points already for 3EasyWay to improve your English. Lyconious, though, he's not teching. He's going to have enough fuel for his Tiger once he gets the command points for it. This is pretty much going to be a battle of unit preservation. And it doesn't seem to be that of a disparity between our two teams. When you look at the players combined, look, 28 pop cap for Tomakaze, but 29 pop cap for 3EasyWay to improve your English. There goes the MG34. Looks like we may see a steal. We could use the off-map smoke to try and secure the retreat. Might not be necessary, but it can help. But Rangers are here in an ambush location. Nade will come through as well, plus the Thompson. Oh, look at that nade, wow.
Ooh, nice position. Almost getting the wipe on the Pioneers. However, the Rangers in range of an MG themselves, and they're going to have to crawl away from this one. It's a very defensible location around this battle group HQ.
And now the triple cap is on. This is where things get bad, but...
this is going to be brutal for Axis. Look what just got caught in, Machine.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, indeed.
No recon, though, but
Not sure where it's
I think
down.
it's pretty predictable.
Yeah.
It's like, where should I aim my Calliope? I don't know. Maybe I'll aim it on the battle group, but actually not too effective. The mortar was retreated pretty much on point, and now that the Calliope is being revealed, we should see a bit more spacing from the Axis. Opus have been built, and we have the Sturm Tiger. Remember, it's only 11 command point. That comes pretty quick. I love that choice.
Cool, and we see it pretty rarely, but it makes sense, both in a 2v2 sense and also in a crossing in the wood
the
sense.
double nade. That was beautiful.
Nade.
Doesn't do much against the Obers,
Yeah.
but when you nade 2 squads at once that quickly, it's hard to dodge. But we saw that Tomakaze, he knows how to handle. He knows how to handle himself. He can dodge that one no problems.
More
but
than up to the challenge.
your average Ko2 player would probably just go good lose to that. And dodge another nade as well. A lot of munitions are being burned, but there's so many of these munis. They had double munis for the entire game, so I wouldn't expect... Well, I hope the Axis don't try and starve the allies of their munitions. It didn't work in real life, and it won't work in crossing in the woods.
Certainly not Machine, not in this situation. The ideal, of course, is not to throw 2 nades in the one engagement, to throw them on 2 different areas of the map simultaneously, or 2 or 3. It's very hard to dodge multiple squads. That's the strafe getting called in. I think I'm right in calling it a strafe for 3 easy ways to improve your English. What is the actual name of it? Is
P-47.
Strafing run.
Yeah,
P-47,
he used it here. Got the MG. Didn't actually wipe it though. Maybe he could have wiped the sniper if it hit, but not quite. Oh, got shot down. Well, maybe. Anyway, so what do we have? We've got a Steward. We've got 2 Calliopes. Yeah.
Benefits of pulling ahead in fuel and map control early in the game is you can invest in the Calliopes without having to worry about them being...
And there's no AT, or there's a AT gun, an AT gun, I should say. I don't want to use incorrect grammar around Blake. He'll get very upset. But and the allies, they know how far ahead they are. They don't have to build AT.
Calliope firing again.
Oh, that's going to be a nice shot there. The pack and the mortar, maybe the sniper as well here. Oh, it's a Vet 3 mortar. Keeping that one alive is going to be very important. Notice how the Calliope isn't a land mattress and doesn't fire a million rockets.
I have noticed that. Yeah. To be fair, it did have its rockets reduced, so...
Yeah, well, this could be a dead Gren
initially
squad here. The Vet 3. Unit preservation is going to be so important in this situation. Oh, loses it. And now, look, there's 5 squads of combat infantry here for TeacherNosliw. Oh, another Calliope, though. Oh, that's just deadly. Pioneers, maybe? Oh, they survived.
Yeah, our Axis lucky. I have to call it lucky at this point, Machine, in terms of not losing as many squads as they could have against two Calliopes. It does, however, give them an opportunity to get back into this game. Tomakaze is going to be coming out, and how many shots do you think it'll take to take out the Calliope machine?
7, because they'll never hit. He's not going to hit the Calliopes with the Sturm Tiger.
You don't think so?
No. No. This battle group's getting low, but the Sturm Tiger, though, it's going to be able to wipe infantry, and that's what they need to do right now, because there's just too many with vetted riflemen with bars, and rangers especially. So if he can get a couple of nice shots off, then he'll be in a good spot. And Lyconious, he's almost at the stage where he can afford to go for a tank. Looks like he's going to be going for the Sturm Tiger, because he just locked it. He was going for his... Ooh. Oh, well, hang on. I think we're missing something, Blake.
Mate, I think we're missing a couple of rifleman squads.
Where did the rifleman squad go?
I'm not sure. They appear to be laying on the ground along with their brethren Stuart on the middle VP. We did actually see that one go down to a pack, I believe, if we scroll up to the middle VP.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, there we go. The burning wreckage of the Stuart.
It's a big swing.
Yeah, I was about to credit our allies on keeping that Stuart alive, but it ended up going down to an AT gun.
So now it's going to be the battle of the wipes. Sturm Tiger versus Calliope. Artillery, it's pretty much team games in a nutshell. So a great situation for the Sturm Tiger now, already getting some nice shots off. Other than that, so yeah, going for his tier 3. I don't know what form. It's going to be a Panzer IV of all things. So maybe going to be diving after the Calliope with that. Would be very risky to do so, but... Oh, what? What? Was that a wipe?
Yep.
Oh, man. They were clumped up. Oh, that's going to be a wipe for wipe here.
Battle of the wipes indeed. Indeed, machine. So, potentially this is the point where our allies should consider not going quite so aggressive across the river. Just try and hold on to the VPs that they have. Take advantage of the cover. Use the MGs to their advantage and stall this thing out on VPs. Going perhaps a little bit too aggressive at this point, considering they have started to lose a few squads and our Axis is starting to get back into things. Yeah, but a 182 VP is not exactly that great. Maybe one of them should try and cap the right side. Panzer IV is being sent, maybe to make sure there's no 50 cals covering it. Blind nade through the smoke. So I think the real question is here for the Axis, can they hold off on VPs long enough to get the Tiger Ace? Because with that, they're going to be able to wipe those squads, and the Tiger Ace can dive after the Calliopes. It has the Blitzkrieg, has the smoke. It's pretty durable. It has the good sight range. It's actually the ideal thing against the Calliopes. Much better than what a regular Tiger would be, or a Elephant, especially if you have P4s. Oh, Sturm Tiger shot comes through. Yeah. I just have to wince a little bit every time I see the shot coming across the screen, machine. That was another 2 squads, wasn't it? It was another 2 squads, indeed, yeah. But one from 3EasyWay from English, I believe. So, look at the pop cap. The Axis have actually overtaken the Allies in pop cap. It may soon change, though, as the Pershing is called in. Range on a nice flank. You see the rockets coming through. Man, look at these MGs. They're both vetted up. They will keep their veterancy for now. They managed to survive. Lyconious, the man who keeps squads alive, as I am now calling him. Okay. I won't, but I'm not going to stop you. So the Panzer IV's here now. Still got to be careful about the battle group. It looks like they've cancelled the retreat point. Pretty smart. And so there is I heard a pack shot fire somewhere. The Pershing. So the Pershing's going to be an absolute pain in the ass for the Panzer IV. Certainly going to limit its effectiveness, machine. And continue to put pressure on these VPs and make it very tough for our Axis to cap them back, which is probably the biggest issue here. Hard to cap under multiple rocket fire and a Pershing. Yeah, we could also see Tomakaze use the signal relay. That would help him catch the Calliopes when he goes in for a play, or at least try and play around the Pershing. So there's a few things. Also, Teacher has almost 500 munitions. So he's going to be able to blow plenty of his combined arms once he gets the Panther up in action. Sturm Tiger, here we go. Rifleman, they're moving forward though. Smart, right on top of the Volsks. But I think he's happy to trade that or just retreat last minute. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at that though. Oh, he gets predictive. It was predictive. It was behind. It was predicting the retreat there. As you can see, the shot actually landed closer to the VP where the Riflemen were retreating. Had they moved forward or stay where they are, they might not have been wiped in that situation. So, cool mind games coming out here, and that's the way you've got to play with the Sturmtiger. You can see the shot coming, the turret moving. You've got to play the mind games.
I think this is less of a shoutcast and more of a Sturmtiger highlight reel. It's basically a montage at this stage.
At least we're getting a lot of shots off Machine. There's nothing wrong with that. Calipes, they're trying to kill this battle group. They've been firing around this area for a long time. Those trees are very traumatized.
They are. Look how sad those trees look.
It's very unhappy. Branches hanging down like that.
This could be Dead Panzer IV. Let's see if the trees turn into treants and try and attack this Pershing. Maybe they should flood to try and get them in. I don't know, we'll see. The VP's still draining pretty desperately here. 62 remain. The P4 was able to back away though, so good unit preservation there by Mr. Lyconious. That's one VP neutral, but that's not going to be enough. Oh, Cloak to Raketten though, look at that. That's going to be able to stall that VP down as well. So the Axis throwing everything in their toolbox.
Seems the Ents are not going to orbit. Axis certainly are pushing towards these VPs with a vengeance. Down to 53, they really don't have an option here. Pershing have no issues with wiping a Raketten up close, but there is another AK gun there for support. Probably a pack.
He doesn't get it. This Pershing's very low now.
VP's being capped.
Yes, so that's going to be no more bleed for the Axis, and left one even going to get captured. That's a MG. How did that get there? Oh, that was stolen by the US and then it was killed. Okay. I was going to say, why was there an Axis MG over there? But now that the VPs are neutral, well, there's a Telemine here, so that's going to be preventing maybe a Sherman diving after the Sturmtiger while it's reloading. And there's what, 2 Echelon, that's going to be able to repair the Pershing. There's one thing to bear in mind with the Pershing, is if it gets weak and you don't have Echelon, it gets kept away from the fight for a while. Where normally with a Sherman or a Jackson, no problem, I'll just repair that with my crew. And look at the VP situation here, so close to the Tiger Ace. Lyconious, I don't think he's going to have any choice but to use it as soon as he gets the option to. I assume the 4 men survived,
yeah, I'm gonna
and
say
it wasn't
that the
a wipe.
squad survived there.
So
Certainly looks that way.
not quite a wipe, but should be enough to deter the rifles.
And it must be the Tiger Ace machine. Look at that manpower float coming up here for Lyconious. What else is it?
Well, it
could be Tiger.
Could be a Tiger or an Elephant.
An elephant even.
It just needs a little bit more fuel.
No.
Yeah, that was very, smart, because the Tiger or an Elephant is going to give you better late game, but like that's not the concern right now.
The concern is getting away from this 50 VP situation.
Yeah, and the Tiger Ace especially going to be good at wiping squads, capping the VPs, because they have the extra accuracy and the less scatter. Whatever the Vet 2 bonus is, gives them better anti-infantry firepower. Really helps out. So if there's going to be a turnaround, it's going to be right now, because the Tiger Ace is on the field. Panzer IV is not quite fully repaired, but it's repaired up to about 3/4. Scout Car's Vet 3, so we'll have a fair bit of vision here. It's going to be allowing the Sturm Tigers to get their shots, but it will also be driving into a Pershing and dying. What is he doing? What is he doing, man?
I don't know. I'm looking for calling.
You're a bold scout car.
A reason to go
you are
this.
one baller scout car.
KK.
And there's a Jackson in support. I love that Jackson. It's going to be so powerful against the Tiger if it tries to dive in and the Pershing is there to soak up the damage. The Jacksons are weak on their own.
It seems as if our Axis have made a decision. They are going Calliope hunting.
What choice do they have? Stalling out against 2 Calliopes. It's not exactly the easiest thing in the world. If the Pershing gets low, then they can commit to this, but otherwise it's going to be risky, especially if the riflemen are there with the AT grenades.
I think that was a new bundle name.
It was.
Didn't actually get a kill though. Despite the damage.
Oh, here we go. Is this going to be the all-in with the Tiger Ace? Where's the Panzer IV flanking up the left side? Jackson and the Pershing going into a double Calliope rockets are coming through. Disengage with the smoke. But look at the Panzer IV. He's a little bit apprehensive.
He doesn't want to go in. Our Axis have been stymied in their attempts to go in here. Perfect.
Stymied?
Stymied.
Oh, here we go.
Perfect smoke coming out here onto the middle. In conjunction with the Calliopes firing onto the supporting AT.
He gets the Jackson. He may lose it to double AT grenades, but no, he'll be fine. I thought if there was 3, he's going to lose it. Tiger Ace now. The Jackson, they're too fragile to really have an impact. If they're in the front, you need to have something up in front, giving vision, giving a bit of a health block. I hear a Sturm Tiger. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
No!
Oh, dear.
Oh, Machine!
Let's look at the vision here of the Allies. What do they see? Do they see the Storm Tiger?
The shot's going to come out.
They see it, man. They see where this is.
Oh, there's a retreat.
Yeah, gets 2
thankfully.
rifles.
Okay.
Not going to be a wipe. So that was a little bit tense.
Tense and a half. Tense and a half. However, the Tiger Ace still in action. The Panzer IV here needs to be repaired as well.
I feel like we're going to have a bit of a Blake's pro vocabulary live on stream. What exactly does stymied mean, Blake?
Stymied, or stopped, or kind of the halted. But in terms of, yeah, kind of, you're attempting to do something and you were stopped from doing so. You were therefore stymied.
Right.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Look at that.
I have not used that one.
Oh, there's a
before.
Panther as well.
I like that,
the Panther is going to be excellent against the Jackson because it has so much armor that can soak up. It's better at spearheading attack than a Tiger because also the Panther. Oh, look at the MG goes down. The Panther has pretty bad DPS, so you want to have that Panther getting focused rather than something like a Tiger, especially a Vet 3 Tiger. It's going to have that really high rate of fire.
That was a really nice barrage from the Calliopes. Not only did we see the MG going down, but focusing Calliopes or any kind of indirect fire onto tanks that are low means you have the potential to stop the repairs, and that can be crucial. Taking down, in this case, Pioneer squads or still Pioneers. Didn't find any, but it was certainly a possibility.
So the problem with this Tiger Ace is there wasn't enough repairs. Normally you'll see players, before they call in the Tiger Ace, they'll get 3 Pyro squads. But in this situation, there was not time to go for those repairing Pioneers. There is 2 those. There's not too bad, and plus there's Sturm Pioneers for support. The Tiger Ace needs to be back on full health though, because the VPs are going to be ticking over quite soon for the Allies. Only 44 VPs remain. Also, that was a good attempt with the Persian to try and wipe the pack down. Wasn't successful though, but nice attempt. And there's plenty of munitions here for Teacher, so we could see more of those heave-apps from the Pershing. It's going to be Vet 2 now. Does get a massive rate of fire boost as it vets up. 50 cal going to get wiped by the incendiary grenade. Good
stuff coming there from the Bolts. Would like to see them retreat off this one. That is a dangerous rifleman squad. Has access to the M1919s as well as a flamer. There's a flamer on that squad.
I don't know how that happened, but it happened somehow.
There is no range at which you want to be fighting the rifleman squad.
Unless you have a mortar, then it's okay. Oh, Sturm Tiger as well. You lie, Blake. You are a terrible, filthy liar. You just attack them with mortars and rockets, and there's going to be a dead Jackson trading against the P4 and the pack. There we go. Jackson late game, just not exactly that good.
Here comes the Calliopes, though. Got the MG go down and will actually survive this one. Pershing fire.
Oh, the Grens and the MG
wipes.
as well.
3 wipes.
And still the VPs are ticking down. Tiger Ace going for the Pershing. Will he commit to this one? The Blitzkrieg for the engagement. Maybe the best choice. The Panther as well. I'm surprised he didn't go for it. What choice does he have with such little VPs? Still, Teacher has plenty of resources, so trading out the Pershing wouldn't be a bad thing, but losing this Panther would be a horrible, horrible thing to do. Loses that one to the M1 with its new buffed penetration. And this is going to be the VP now captured. Let's see if the... Oh, whoa, what was that? I didn't even know what that was.
What?
Major... No, that wasn't Major Artie.
Nah.
That was not Major Artie. No, it was Major Artie!
It wasn't! Oh, Lord!
The Major Artie pretty much kills the Tiger Ace. Well, guys, take my money.
I'm throwing it away, Machine.
Jackson going for the kill now.
Oh, the Telemine isn't there anymore. Probably courtesy of the 13 Calliope barrages.
Do you remember the time when the Major Artie killed the Tiger Ace? that was a great time.
Oh, dude. That was fantastic is what that was. All the Pioneer squads in the world couldn't repair that Tiger. That was nuts. Whew. Okay, I'm never saying a bad word about Major Artie ever again. Machine, and it's now my favorite part of the May preview. Alright. Oh, nasty stuff. The new battle nade there from the Oversoldaten.
Oh, okay. So we have someone saying that it was the Panther's artillery because he had the commander on the Panther. that actually called it down as
Oh,
well.
okay,
but
right.
I clicked on the major, and the rapid barrage was used, so maybe it was actually both of them.
Yeah, in conjunction, which would make sense.
Because that was a lot of rockets.
Yeah.
It must have been both of those things combined. Either way, nice to see that unit buff. Sturm Tiger. Oh, what?
The
Calliopes!
You were saying, Machine!
gets-
You were saying how many shots get caster cursed, my friend, get caster cursed and a half. It takes one shot to take out a Calliope. I'm done. That's the dream, but the Sturm Tiger can potentially go down here. There's no supporting NT.
I have no words, Blake.
Just like the Sturm Tiger has no words, if it falls here, taking a lot of damage from the pond, Pershing penetrating pretty consistently. The Jackson's going to be coming around on the flank from the left. Can it find the Sturm Tiger?
Well, he's going to find the Tiger Ace. No heat up available, but it will be enough to secure that Sturm Tiger. VPs are going low here. That's going to be the game. It's going to be 2-0 for 3EasyWay to improve your English. And teacher Nosliw.
Who will be moving on to our semi-finals in glorious fashion.
Smooth way to end a fantastic game. There was so many times where I thought the Axis were going to have a massive comeback. And they were doing great, but at the same time, the Calliopes they existed.
They were certainly a thing, Machine.
Yeah. How else can you summarize the performance of the Calliope? So that was pretty crazy. So we're going to see those guys move on to the semifinals. This is